Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on high7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on high7025fm.com.
Oh man, happy Wednesday. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all living? As you see me, I'm doing the same, living good, eating better, or trying to eat better. Those were chips that, I haven't decided to open up. Want to say those. Anyway, happy Wednesday, man. Let me tell you, it's been a very, like an up and down month, and down is not even that bad. It's just a little weird, but it's been an up and a down month. As you know, or if you don't know, me and Diamond celebrated our anniversary on the 7th of March, 5 years of marriage, 17 years altogether. Oh, man, it was a really big jump, big milestone. The vacation was nice, I will say that. The time away from here was nice. It was enjoyable. I'm kind of glad I had it. I needed some time away from Vegas, kind of clear my head up and get me back, do like a little mental reset, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool to have that happen. It was like 4 or 5 days. We only went to Long Beach. We didn't go too far away, but we did a lot, like wine and paint, massages, ice skating, dinner a couple of times. I may have forgot a couple things, mini golf, a couple things like that. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. Other than that, also happy belated International Women's Day. I know March is the whole, but talk about the actual day itself. For sure. Definitely shout out to that I missed that one. But other than that, man, I've been living. That's what I will say. I've been living. I won't say just surviving, because I've been actually just, I've been over the hump and not just riding by it, if that makes sense to y'all. So I'm happy there. But man. Oh, by the way, my son made the basketball team at school. So came back from vacation and found that out. So that was kind of nice. He's a basketball player now, so that's pretty cool. He's excited. I'm excited. First actual sport that he'll be in, so pretty cool to see that. I can't wait for the first game, which is next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So it'll be pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say about the last week. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have too much. It was a bit of a blank to me because my mind was elsewhere. But man. Ooh. Today I want to talk to the fellas directly, right? Just for a minute tonight. And not on just the surface level conversation like we happen to have, but I'm talking about the stuff that we don't really say out loud, don't say out loud at all in a way, because there's something that's been sitting kind of heavy with me, and I know I'm not the only one who's felt it, or at least I don't believe I am the only one who's felt it, but a lot of men are out here showing up every single day, handling responsibilities, taking care of people, being present where it counts, but internally is what I want to talk about. Internally, it's a whole different conversation. And what I mean by that is, men, we often live two lives, the outside versus the internal. So on the outside, everything looks handled, but inside, it's questions, pressure, overthinking, stress, etc. People see the results, but not the way it took to get there. And what I mean by that is people will see that you succeeded in something or you've done something or accomplished something, but they weren't there shooting with you in the gym. You know what I mean? They came to your basketball game, but they weren't shooting with you in the gym. Pretty much same thing. People will see the results of all the hard work we put in, but they don't really acknowledge all the effort, sacrifice, consistency it took for us to get there. They'll pretty much kind of brush it over and kind of go back to, oh, hey, cool. It's kind of cool to see you doing that. It's crazy. It is very crazy. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this here. You ever feel like you're speaking but not really being heard? You know, like people hear your words, but they're not really understanding you. It's like you're explaining yourself and somehow it still gets missed. No matter how deep in the detail you go into, no matter how much you explain, it's still being missed. Now, that does something to you over time. I don't know how to truly explain what it does to you over time, but that really does something to you over time. Um, it makes you start holding things in. It makes you second guess opening up. It makes you feel like what's the point of even saying anything, right? Like, why do I need to say something when I'm not being heard in the first place? What's the point of it? Why? I might as well just be quiet the entire time. I might as well just shut up and not say nothing. But I kind of want to lean into the emotional fatigue on that. Like, when you got to repeat yourself, it is so draining to you to have to keep constantly saying the same things over and over again, repeating the same things, having the same issues you want resolved over and over again. Um, or, let's talk about how men start choosing silence over conflict. Because there's going to be times where after a while you get tired of repeating yourself and you just like, you know what? I just won't say nothing at all. How about that? How about I not say nothing at all? And then that way, can't nobody be mad at me. Can't nobody say nothing to me. Can't nobody, my problems will be my problems. I can't throw them on nobody else. My problems are my problems. Right? Nobody else got to worry about what I'm going through or what I'm dealing with. How about that? How about I just shut up and completely just go blank and go dark? Or how the silence gets misunderstood as you don't care. It's crazy. It's crazy to understand that when you get silent, it gets taken as you don't care. You know, um, and that's where it gets dangerous. It's not always loud arguments either. For some of y'all that think like that, it's not always loud arguments. Honestly, sometimes it's quite disappointing. Quiet disappointment that does the most damage, if you ask me. It's the conversations that go nowhere. The moment you try to be understood and walk away feeling the same way, or worse. It can be completely worse. You could walk away feeling like you didn't resolve anything, and it just got worse, and it made it worse. And let me try to explain and describe what the word worse means because I don't want it to sound like worse is like the end. I mean, like you're feeling alone in a room full of people. Imagine being in a room full of thousands of people, but you feel like you by yourself. You feel like there's nobody else there. Or you feeling like your presence is expected but not appreciated. It's like, hey, yeah, I want you here, I want you around, but I don't appreciate you being around. It ain't helping me out, it ain't benefiting me, even though you hold the fort down, wherever the case that may be. It's a crazy feeling, crazy feeling. When you give in your best and you're feeling like you're normal, like you're feeling normal instead of feeling valued. Like you're going through giving your all 110%, 1,000% just to be like, oh, it's cool. Thanks. Good looking out. Good looking out. Good looking out. But when that keeps happening, man, when that keeps happening, after a while, something in you starts to shift. Okay. something in you starts to shift, and you just kind of, how do I say it? You don't react the same way no more. You don't speak up the same. You don't even try in the same way. And again, it's not because you don't care, you know, it's not because, you just really don't give a flying, you know what, or you don't want to be around, but it's because you have been trying, and it feels like it's not landing. It feels like your efforts are pointless. That's where that comes from. You know, a lot of men hit that space at some point, whether you believe it or not. You think your man is Superman? At some point, there may be a space where he has to hit that because of how he's feeling and how he's taking everything going on. But where you're not giving up on life, you're not giving up on love, but you're getting tired. That's the space that some of those men will hit. You tired of repeating yourself. You're tired of feeling misunderstood. You're tired of feeling like your emotions don't land the way you need them to. Ultimately, no matter how you express yourself, no matter how much you explain it or which way you put it, it just kind of feels like it's not working. It's not hitting home. And again, you may change up your pace. You may change up the way you say things and conversate, the way you express things, and it may still not hit home for some people. Now, instead of blowing up, a lot of us do the opposite, right? We get quiet, we pull back, we move different, shimmy shake instead of duck and dodge. And it's not because we don't care, but because we care so much, right? Because we care so much. That is frustrating not to be felt. So frustrating. I don't even know how to explain the right words to tell you how frustrating it really is. But here's the part that don't get talked about enough, okay? That silence that everybody keep ignoring, that distance that is being created, if you're not careful, it turns into something else. And it's not good. It turns into detachment, pure detachment. It turned into, I'm done explaining myself. Sorry. I kept trying. I'm just done now at this point. And once you get there, man, once you get there, it's so hard to come back from that. I don't care what anybody tells you, but it's so hard to come back from that when you get to that space. People may not want to accept or acknowledge that, but it is. Like it's difficult because it's like an emotional checkout, if you must say. Like some men are physically present but mentally gone. Like I'm here, but I'm not. I'm around, if that makes you feel better. They're not arguing anymore because they've already detached. Peace shouldn't come from giving up on being understood. Like that is not the case. Peace should never come from giving up on being misunderstood or being understood, from trying to be understood. Now, if we being real, let's talk about it. Something that is real. Sometimes, I ain't gonna like this a little bit. Sometimes when a man has been consistent for so long, and I mean providing, loving, holding things down, all of that, being the best man he can be. You know what happened to the people around him? They can get comfortable, so comfortable. And we all know that comfortability is a killer sometimes. Would you agree that comfortability is a killer? Look, I want to talk about how consistency can be taken for granted. How strong men sometimes create environments where others stop growing. And it sucks. It sucks. And it's like, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to blame anybody. What I am trying to do is just like cause awareness. Like I want there to be some awareness around for you to understand. When you make life feel safe, sometimes people stop checking on the one making it safe. Comfort should never replace appreciation. I don't give a fuck what you say. Comfort should never replace appreciation. And that comfort, whether you want to listen to it or not, that comfort, man, man, oh man, it can create so much blindness, you won't even be able to see it. You see what I did there? See what I did there? I say that because there's an old saying that they say, uh, what is it? How does it go? You know what? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that one and come back to it in a second here. It's like a tough man makes easier times. Um, and then it is a wait, tough times. Okay, here we go. This is a saying that I used to love all the time because I didn't get it until I got older, but I fully realized it now. It goes, hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Eat and then what does it go? Oh, sorry. I messed up again that fast. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Okay. So it's like a cycle of it saying that the person that's making life comfortable, making life easy and safe, everybody else is being so comfortable that they forget to grow and elevate along with the man making everything good. They stay in one place and stay stagnant for who knows how long. How long? And again, it's not always intentional. It's not like they're doing it on purpose, but it is real. So where the effort stops being noticed, where growth stops being required, and where accountability gets replaced with, oh, he'll be all right. Oh, he'll be all right. I can't tell y'all how many times I personally want to just fight somebody for saying those words when we have issues. Oh, he'll be all right. That's how you feel? That I'll just be all right? That's why shit don't get done because you think I'll just be all right? Okay, cool. Well, I guess I got to change up my ways, right? Yes, I got to be different and do different, right? Um, and I got to emphasize on this part because the truth is, as men, we need to feel considered too. It's wild that we don't really get considered as much as we would like and we would want. And it's crazy that we actually have to even make that a statement to let it be known that we should be considered too. And what I mean by that is being asked, how do you feel? Being checked on without having to break down first, or being supported emotionally and not just expected to support. Like at the end of the day, being the one that everybody leans on is just not relied on, but leaned on. Not just expected to be strong, but actually considered is what we would like to see. You don't understand what men go through when it comes to consideration. We're told to just kind of like, what do we need to consider you for? You'll be all right. You've been doing this your entire life. What's the problem now? You'll be okay. Ain't nothing holding you back. No, you holding me back. You holding me back. Because being the one everybody leans on, it doesn't mean you don't need somewhere to lean to. And when that goes unseen for far too long, way too long, way too long, the frustration builds up. That's where it starts. That is where the distance starts, where you get people trying to distance themselves, back away, walk away. It all comes from that. And then you'll get people that'll try to tell you, well, consideration is something you should do too. Do you not think I'm considering you by getting up and taking care of business all the time? Making sure that whatever role I'm in, I'm playing my part of position down to the T to make sure we don't have any hiccups or roadblocks? Do you not think I'm already considering you with every move I make? It's crazy that you don't. But we do. We do. um, But when you create that distance as a man, that's kind of like our way of saying, I'm going to start emotionally checking out of this. Piece by piece, part by part, I'm going to emotionally start checking out of this because obviously it's not serving me the purpose that I want it to. Now, I just want to paint a picture of how detachment happens slowly but surely because some of y'all won't even acknowledge it that detachment can happen, the distance can happen. It's not one big moment, it is all of those small moments that add up over time. Every time a man feels unheard, un- not seen, not considered, a piece of him pulls back and it's like, all right, cool. I'll step back again. I'll step back again. I'll step back again. And then eventually, when they step back so far, they out way out the door. You can't do nothing about it at that point because all of the time you had to change it was when we started creating the distance before and up until we got to the door. You know what I mean? So if you ain't got no more friendships with somebody because you didn't treat them right as a man, that's because obviously you wasn't respecting their boundaries. If you don't got no coworkers that are trying to stay away from you, they feel like you're respecting their boundaries. Your spouse, partner, whatever the case may be, it's because you're not respecting their boundaries. You're not respecting them in person as people, as men. Crazy, huh? I know, I know, I know, I know. But then the real question becomes, or wait, before I do that, let's bring it back for a second. Let's bring it back for a second. Because this isn't just about what's happening around you, it's also about how you handle it. Okay. It's all about how you handle it. And some people can handle it very well or in a healthy way, I should say. First, say it early and constantly if you got to. Don't wait until you're at your breaking point to speak. Because if you say it when you're at your breaking point, it doesn't sound like you really have an issue. You know what I mean? It when you wait too long, your words don't come out as communication. They come out more as frustration, irritability, anger, whatever you may call it. And when that happens, people don't look at you the same. They don't want to acknowledge or approve of the fact that you have an issue with something because they feel like, oh, you just saying that because you're angry or you're frustrated at the moment. And that's not fair to you at all for them to be acting like that. That's not fair to you at all. But I'm telling you what it looks like and where it comes from. Now, when I say that, I want to talk about the timing for communication. So, late communication sounds a lot like anger, you know? Um, Even when it started as hurt, it sounds like anger because in their mind, in their head, they're looking at it like, you had all of this time to speak up and say something, and you didn't say anything. So why didn't you say anything when I gave you the opportunity, the room to grow and to actually, let me know something was wrong? Because now that you're trying to say it like this, I feel like you're only saying it because I got a problem too. So they don't really hear you anymore because now it becomes a tit for tat versus we really have an issue that we need to resolve. Um, it does sucks, but you got to remember delivery matters too. You can't be upset that they don't hear you if you're delivering your message in anger every single time. It's not gonna work out that way. You got to work on it and get that taken care of. Second, you need to choose how you communicate. Okay. Again, everything does not need to be said in anger. Let me take a break real quick. To be taken serious, it don't got to be said in anger because sometimes the way you say something, it determines on if it's heard at all. Okay. What I mean by that is there has been a time that I officially would assume and think that it was okay to wait until I blew up to express all of the issues I had. I used to think that that was the perfect timing because I'm already upset and mad. So why not just let it out? What I didn't realize was me letting it out in anger is that's all it looked like was anger. So once I was over my little tantrum and the anger was gone, there was no real resolution because nobody took it serious. Whether that's my mom and them, whether that's my friends, my brothers, my wife, whoever it could be, nobody took me serious when I was at a heated level and I was so aggressive. Now, when I talk to people and I have those conversations of what I have issues with and what I express, when I have that conversation with people now, I put the ball in their court because I just told you what the rules are at this basketball court. And now it's up to you to either abide by those rules or get kicked off the court, right? So I'm going to let you do what you want to do. If you want to take care of the court, abide by the rules, we good to go. But if you want to continue to disrespect the court, don't get mad when you realize you pulled up one day and the locks got changed. You can't come in no more. Security got to escort you back out because you thought you was in the game. No, you did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. Um, I'm glad that it was the other way around for me first, that I went through the anger portion of trying to communicate things in anger and then learning that anger wasn't the only way to communicate, or it shouldn't be any way to communicate for the most part. I give away some things because depending on certain variables, I understand that you can't really control it and it just happens. So we're gonna take that away. Um, but really, everything does not need to be said in anger to be taken seriously. You know, the third thing is you gotta find a real, genuine outlet. Do you know I used to think that drugs and drinking like weed and alcohol would have been my outlet? That was the way to go about it. That's what I thought was the game plan. But can I tell you from personal experience from going through it that that didn't do anything but make it worse? It just pushed back everything I needed to fix and deal with for a later date when I could have dealt with it in. You got to find a real healthy outlet. And I say that because no, I'm not talking about distraction. So don't go out there partying every single day, every weekend, thinking that you partying is gonna fix it. Don't go out there thinking that you can go and what do you want to say? Oh man, I'm trying to think, man. Y'all have so many different unique ways of unhealthy um what do you call it, outlets that it's hard to find. It's not hard to find the healthy ones, but I want to say something that y'all ain't gonna try to rebuttal and make it seem like, oh, but I could do this instead to supplement or suffice for it. No, find a genuine healthy outlet so that we can kind of get through things like this. Because I'm telling y'all, man, look, I go through it on a daily, and I fight life. I fight myself to move on and to be here every single day. I fight my mind to keep on pushing, to keep on going. I convince myself every single day I wake up that it is worth the fight, that it is worth getting up every morning. It is worth going to work every day. It is worth putting in the same effort I need to put in, especially for my kids. A real heart to heart moment with y'all. I'm gonna be completely transparent and honest. If my kids were not here, I don't think I would either. I don't think I will be here either. However, they are here, and I've been doing a great job at using that as motivation and fuel to keep going. But I've also been trying to find another outlet other than my children to give me the confidence and motivation to keep going every day, right? Because we have to find it somewhere. We got to find it somewhere. We can't just keep being stuck in the same place, same cycle without trying to find some help, assistance, or guidance, or a healthy way to go about something we've been doing wrong this entire time, or the way we thought was right. How about that? What I'm really talking about is like finding a healthy outlet, like talking, therapists, friends, whatever it may be. Writing, you can do poetry, you can write in a journal, write in a notebook, whatever it may be, writing your notes on your phone. Just kind of talk about how you're feeling, writing it down in general, just something positive and healthy, or even praying. I know y'all know me, especially lately. I've been trying to push God on y'all more. I'm not gonna force you into it, you know what I mean? Because personal testimony is I was when I lost my brother, man, I didn't really me and God had a funky relationship because I felt like, why you take my brother, man? My brother, he was my brother, man. Why you take my brother from me? You know what I mean? Um, I was very disappointed in God. And I had no reason to be disappointed in God, but I was because I didn't see the bigger picture. I didn't understand that, it's all God's timing. I can't fight or argue with that. But for the longest, I wouldn't go to church. I wouldn't pray. I would just question him because I lost the most important person to me at the time. So it's kind of hard for me to deal with that growing up, losing your older brother. It's just it changes your whole outlook. Going your whole life with him, and when you become an adult, he just goes. So one day I seen it, the faith of a mustard seed. I saw what the size of a mustard seed is, that little old thing, and that little bit right there, man. And just I said, I got that. I got some questions, but I got that. And every day, God just showed me that He was right there with me, walking throughout my path and learning to know Him again, learning to do better with my, with praying, with speaking up. It's just I had to realize that I'm not meant to do this alone. As much as I think I'm by myself in this, Jesus and God has had my back the entire time because there are storms I did not know I could walk through, and I didn't realize that I walked through it only because they were right there next to me, guiding me through, walking, holding my hand, walking me through it. So I tell y'all the same thing. Pray about it, man. Find some peace in yourself to where you can get that going on. But don't sit up here and keep going through these unhealthy ways and coping mechanisms that ain't working out for you. If it didn't work the first 10 times, it's not gonna work the 11th or the 50th. So let's try to change that up, okay? And again, that's from love because I've done it before myself. I just want to see y'all doing better. That's all it is. Or processing stuff, because holding everything in, that is not strength. That is pressure. Pressure, 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 pressure. So much pressure. Pressure turns into different things if it is ignored, okay? Pressure can turn into anger, like we already said. It can turn into distance. So you just kind of stop being around people or around your loved ones. You kind of move back and do your own thing. Or it can even turn into numbness, where you just don't completely feel anything at all whatsoever, right? What's crazy about that is, what's crazy about that is we all ignore it. So we're all dealing with one of these in one way or another until we learn to kind of find a healthier way to deal with it so it's not so heavy on us in a way. Not so heavy on us in a way. And a lot of times, a lot of the times, another fourth reason is don't confuse silence with peace. Have you ever had anybody that has confused silence with peace? No? Yeah, I have plenty of times myself. Um, it sucks to know that when you get quiet as a man, that everybody else will follow suit and just be quiet too. They won't check on you, see if something wrong. They won't bother you. They won't do anything. You can sleep in your car for 2 weeks straight, and nobody will be like, "Why are you sleeping in your car?" Except they'll say, "Go get in the bed. You got a whole apartment. Go sleep in your house." Nobody will say nothing like that. You can sleep on a couch for months, and nobody would even question you on why you're there. Regardless, don't confuse that silence with peace. I don't think it's peace at all. I think just because things got quiet doesn't mean things got better. Sometimes it just means you stop trying. You just gave up and say, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. You know what? Hey, look, whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Um, but last, or not last, I guess I will say lastly, in this portion of it, lastly, check yourself too. You're not always right. You're not always correct. You got some working to do on yourself too. Sometimes you got to check yourself as well. Make sure you're not shutting down in ways that make it impossible for people to reach you. Like as men, we have to be accountable too. Don't build walls so high that nobody can climb them. Like, yeah, it's okay to have your guard up, but when you see somebody getting close to the top, don't add layers on it. Don't move the goalposts. Let them climb over. They did the work. They there. Let them get there. Don't sit up there and say, nope, I got to build another wall behind it now, or I got to build it higher and then build one behind. Don't do that. Let them climb over that wall like they have instead of you moving the goalposts, making it harder for you and them. It's not worth it. Being guarded is different from being closed, right? Again, it's okay to have your guard up, right? Just want to check and make sure things okay. But when you see things are progressing, don't go build walls because you're not knowing where things are going to go. When you're uncomfortable, let me tell you something because this is crazy. You probably didn't know this, but let me tell you something. It's crazy, crazy to tell you this. And I'm telling you, when you realize that, man, oh man, it's going to change your life. It's like the biggest thing on earth. When you are uncomfortable, you're growing. You're growing. It's okay to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable to grow and move forward. You're going into a place you've never been before. You're going to be uncomfortable. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, it's okay to know that Right now, I'm in an uncomfortable stance because something different is happening. Yeah, you're growing. I'm proud of you. Good job. Good job on keeping that growth going forward. Yes, uncomfortability is uncomfortable. It's in the name, it's in the word. We know that. But you got to grow through it to get through it, or go through it to grow through it. I would say, honestly, I'm just being honest with y'all, man. It's horrible realizing that we're out here. I understand that we got to have defense, but we're not a basketball team. We're not a football team. It's okay to let it go sometimes. It's okay to let your guard down sometimes. You can do it. Even in basketball, they let their guard down when they're on offense because they're only worried about scoring, not defending. You know what I mean? Um, Teach his own, though. Teach his own. But I'm just saying. Now, through all of this, because beyond all of that, through all of this, there's something deeper we got to acknowledge. Sometimes that weight feels so heavy because you've been trying to carry it by yourself, right? We do it all the time. But God never asked you to hold everything alone. Oh, you think he did? Oh, I got something for you. Hold on, I got something for you. 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 Um, Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Okay. And what he's saying in that is to make it a little easier for you. What God is saying in that one is rest is not just being sleep, but mental and emotional release. Find a healthy way to deal with that and go through it. Don't just sit up there and let the unhealthy patterns kind of drive you away, drive you insane. That wasn't good for you? No? How about this? How about Psalms chapter 34, verse 17? The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all of their troubles. Meaning, God, God will hear you even when nobody else will listen. When you think ain't nobody else listening to you and you ain't got nobody to go to, guess who is? God listening to you. He got you. He taking care of it. He actually know what you're gonna say before you're gonna say it, but he want to listen to you so you can feel heard and seen. What you missing at home, probably. What you missing at home? No, still not good enough. I got one more for you. One more. I'm sure this one should be good enough for you for sure. I'm sure this should be good enough for you for sure. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. Okay. Now, when you feel weak, when you feel like you can't do it, when you feel like it's just not going to work out, man, pray to God for strength. He will give it to you. He will give you the strength you need to keep moving forward, keep pushing forward. He got you. The issue comes when some of y'all do not want to sit up there and actually allow God to assist and help. Put him in your life. He changed mine. He can change yours too. Put him in your life. You know, find God. Well, you ain't got to find him. He already there with you. Just find out how you need to talk to him, which way you can talk to him. Just all you gotta do is say hi, start it off like that. It'll go from there. You'll learn as you go. Mine used to be a quick man. Thank you, God, for waking me up. Amen. You know, now I got the whole, God, I appreciate you for waking me up this day, making sure me and my family is okay. My kids are up to see another day. I'm able to go to work. I'm able to have a car. I'm able to take care of my family. I appreciate you and thank you so much for allowing us to have all of this under your grace. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. You'll start somewhere, but you'll finish strong. Start anywhere. It doesn't matter, but put God in your life and get that backup you need from him. I guarantee you'll feel undefeated no matter what you're going through. No matter what you're going through. Oh man, no matter what you're going through. But y'all, man, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. So tonight, if you've been feeling unheard, um, if you've been feeling overlooked, if you've been feeling emotionally tired, please, please, please don't let that turn you cold. Okay. Don't let that turn you into somebody who stops feeling. Speak. Even if your voice shakes, speak. Adjust without losing yourself. And most importantly, don't carry it all alone. We're not meant to be on this world and carry everything by ourselves. There's so much more given to us to carry this weight without having to do it alone. Okay? Because being strong doesn't mean being silent. And being a man doesn't mean you don't deserve to be heard. I don't care what you think or what you say. It doesn't mean you don't deserve to be heard. I need you all to understand that as men, I know we have this built tough interior or exterior that we got, you know, but where does that get us when we kind of just broken down all over the place? We ain't got nowhere to turn or go. I think we could proactively prevent that if we find healthy ways of opening up and expressing ourselves. And if those situations do not serve you a purpose and they're not working out the way you need to, even though you do open up and talk about it, then I believe at that point you may need to walk away from whatever situation is causing you that pressure, that stress. Everything has a healthy way of dealing with it. I believe. I would like to believe. It's up to us to find that way um, in order for it to happen. If we cannot look for it, if we cannot find it, why are we really? Sorry, I don't want to say we can't find it. If we're not looking for it, why are we complaining? Why are we wanting better if we can't get up and do the work? Right? Why can't we? And again, from the heart, man, I just want y'all to understand that you don't have to shut down completely. You still deserve understanding. I know sometimes that life can be super difficult and that life is most of the time unfair to us as men. What I do want you all to do is do your best to keep moving forward and keep your head up. I am personally every day doing my best to keep my head up. I come out here every week. I try to come and just convince one person it's worth it to keep going. Do you know male suicide rates went from every minute to every 40 seconds? That's depressing to know. That's depressing to know. And if I can stop even one person, even if that's just myself, from committing suicide, I'm okay with that. I'll be happy with that. I don't feel like we should keep everything held in. I don't feel like we get enough appreciation. I don't feel like we get enough consideration. What I do feel is that we can do that for each other. I feel I've never seen a man, and I never just like, how you doing? I always give a compliment because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know. We have it hard as it is in life already because we've been taught, we have been conditioned to sit up there and be like, chin up, chin up, chest out. We've been conditioned to do that. I have been doing my best to not to create a balance with my boys on what it looks like to express yourselves and how to do it in a healthy way. Do I expect them to know that in a year or two? I don't expect them to know that until they grown. I expect them to see examples of what it looks like and try to mimic, if not replace and do better with what I try to do. But all in all, I would hate for my boys to grow up feeling any kind of way that I feel. I would hate for them to feel unsupported, uncared for, or not cared for, isolated, unappreciated, undervalued, disrespected. I just would hate for them to feel like that in any way, shape, or form. So, as their father, it is my duty to do my best to bring them into a place of better understanding to express themselves. Yeah, it may be tough for me to go through it and deal with it and do it, but it's for them. And I'm okay with that. I will fight every single day, every single night, with no ifs, ands, or buts, to show my children that a man can be healthy, that a man can do the right thing, a man can express himself, a man can open up and still be considered a man without having to break down and be doing it immaturely. I will present to them every day I can of this lifetime of how to become better people in this world. From my heart to all of you men out there, to everybody going through it and feeling the same that I may be feeling, I commend you for moving on and going one more day. All I ask you to do is every morning just say one more day. I can do it one more day. And eventually you'll stop saying one more day because you'll realize that one more day means, all right, tomorrow may be better. Tomorrow may be better. Tomorrow can be better. That's what that means. I'm just glad personally, like I was telling my coworkers today, I think it's time for me to start going back to the office to see a therapist. Because the phone is cool to do it on the phone. But it was just something about the interaction of being in the presence with your therapist when you talk that kind of made you feel more comfortable, I guess, in a way. You know? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, from me to you all, please do your best to just find healthy ways of communicating and expressing yourself. Shutting down and being quiet, it's not peace. It's just prolonged issues, if you want to say. Prolonged issues. And again, I understand if you are quiet because you have tried everything, all of the above. Hey, more power to you, but please, please, please find a healthy way to get out. Do what you got to do, all in all. But I appreciate you all for coming out to see me again on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, coming to hear me out and listen to me. I'll be back again next week at 4 p.m. So definitely we'll let y'all know that. But thank you again for coming to tune in. I'll catch y'all again next week on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. So again, peace. Oh, wait, I can't even do it right. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot 702.5fm.com.